in Oxford is very, very important in our healing process.
Community.
Zoe, how old were you at the time of the shooting?
I was 17 going on 18 at the time, so I was a couple months away from being 18.
Wow. And did you have an opportunity, I guess, did you call your mom as you were going out of the school? How did your parents find out, and how did that unfold?
That was actually a very tricky situation as well. So when we went into lockdown, my phone was on 11% right before we went into lockdown, which is one of the worst absolute times for that to happen, of course. So I walked into Fifth Hour. I go to charge my phone. In less than probably 10 minutes, they're telling us that we need to lock down. But at the time, my class thought it was a joke because we didn't know that there was something serious actually going on, as teenagers do. And so we were just kind of playing around. I went and unplugged my phone, and it was probably on 13%. And when we started to realize something was actually going on, in this day and age, social media is so important to us. And we were on Snapchat, and we see all of our friends posting videos running away from the school in the snow, and we start to realize something's actually going on. And then a friend that was with me at the time gets a call, and it's from one of our friends driving away from the school on FaceTime. And she's sobbing on the phone, and she's yelling, "He's dead, he's dead." And we really start to realize the severity of the situation. And so that's when I go to text my mom that I love her. I'm trying to call her. I think I get through to her one time, but the teacher is telling us to be quiet, so I have to hang up on her. And in the midst of everything, probably 20 minutes into it, my phone dies. And so I didn't get back in contact with my mom until I got out of the school, which was hard for her, of course, because I also had a freshman brother in the school at the time. And so I didn't really get in contact with her until leaving the school. I was able to run with a friend to her mother's car and use her car charger to get right up to about 10% again to call my mom. And then at that point, she'd seen it on the news, and she didn't find out until my aunt actually called her because she saw my school in the news, and so she found out that way.
Wow.
That's just
so
much.
Yeah, and you said it was actually snowing when this happened. So is this like in November or December or something along those lines in Detroit?
Yeah, it was November 31st, so it was just getting ready to start snowing. It was snowing pretty bad.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And Zoe, that is just chilling. I want to, Jaheim, when 8th grade, Jaheim, how old were you?
I was 13 at the time.
Lord Jesus. And when and you were at a birthday party, right? There's something that should be celebratory, fun, enjoyable, kids just having a good time, and instead a gang decided to shoot up everyone. Can you tell us you were shot? What happened? In that aftermath, how has been what was your role to healing?
Yeah, so definitely for me, ever since I was a little boy, my family, they have always instilled a sense of just wanting to help people. That's just always been a virtue of my family, is just always putting others before you. So whenever the shooting initially happened, of course, everybody started kind of freaking out, and everyone was, it was just loud. It was the environment was very intense. And honestly, at first I didn't even know that I had got hit by one of the bullets. One of my best friends, he was actually the other guy who got hit as well. And I was just running around the house trying to make sure that everyone else was safe. And I had went into the bathroom because that's where one of my friends was who got hit. And he was like, I'm good. It hurts a little bit. That's when we heard the sirens, all of that. And then the police came inside the house and was like, hey, is everybody okay? Who all got hit and things like that. And my friend, I was helping him up, and he looked down at my leg, and he goes, "Hey, Ja, I think you got hit too." And I was like, "No, I didn't. Like, you're just being like, you're just in shock. Like, you're the only one that got hit. Like, you're just in shock." And as I helped him towards the living room, towards the front door, I looked down myself, and I seen that I also got shot. And at that time, I guess like everything kind of just like came to realization, and I was like, "Oh my God, like I just got shot. Like, what do I supposed to do?" And as soon as I seen it, like I guess my adrenaline was so high, and just wanting to help everyone else, I didn't even realize that I had got shot. But once I seen the blood running down my leg, it was just like all the pain just swarmed at once, and I couldn't walk anymore. I like immediately just fell to the ground, and it was just really like heartbreaking to be considered a victim at that time, because like no one thinks to go to a party. Like you said, you go to a party to celebrate someone's life, and just it was just heartbreaking. And at the time, like I just didn't even realize what was happening. The only thing that was on my mind was my friend got shot. Let me help him. Let me go around the house and see if everybody else is straight. And yeah, like I was the one who needed help the entire time. But like I said, I didn't even realize that I had got shot until after my friend pointed it out. But yeah,
and that's such a testament. And that's a testament to your heart, like you said, that, you know, you've been taught and your spirit was such that you cared so much about everybody else and forgot, you know, about yourself, because, you know, sometimes we just, you know, adrenaline can do that. And I just think that it's such a testament to you and to Zoe, just your incredible personal courage. Daryl?
Yeah, thank you. Hey, John, you know, as Barbara said, it's really an incredible experience that you went through. Did they ever catch the shooter? Was it just one shooter? Were there multiple shooters? Did they catch the person or the people?
Yeah, so they did end up catching the shooter, and the hardest thing about it all is the guy who actually who shot me. He was actually the brother of one of my like childhood friends. Like me and him, we played sports all through school. We was on the same football team from like the Pee Wee League. Even in middle school, we was on the same football team. And once I found out that it was his brother who shot at me, it was really hard just to know, like, you know, it was someone who I considered a friend, and he was in the same family as the guy who could have ended my life. And for the longest, I put that resentment towards my childhood friend, and I didn't want to be around him. Every time I seen him, I seen his brother, and it ultimately messed up the relationship that him and I had. But then after that, actually there's this national organization called SAVE, which is Students Against Violence Everywhere, and it ultimately they fight against gun violence within the youth. And I founded a chapter at my middle school. It was the first time the middle school has ever had one. So I founded that, and in the midst of going through that process of starting that organization on campus, it was we had our interest meeting, and one of the first people who walked into the interest meeting was that childhood friend, the brother of the shooter. And at that time, I was standing at the podium, and I just didn't even know what to say at that time. Like, I haven't seen him. He stopped coming to school afterward because a lot of people was, you know, bullying him. But when I was standing on the podium during the intro and I see him walk in, I kind of just froze and I just didn't know what to do. And something just kind of hit me, and I was like, you know what? It wasn't him that did it. He didn't have anything to do with it. And after that meeting, I walked up to him and I apologized for the way that I treated him. And after that, we then became close friends again. It took a little time before we became friends, but we did eventually become friends again. But it really was just a testament that, you know, just because it was his brother doesn't mean that I should take that out on him. But yeah, that was really just a very traumatic experience for him as well.
Yes.
So yeah.
No, it sounds like it. And Job, with regards to the person that was the shooter in your case, do you know how old he was when he did the shooting, and what was the result of? Did he go to court, or what happened?
Yeah, so I think he was only maybe like 17, 18 at the time of the shooting. And he did end up being arrested. They found him a couple blocks away from the scene. And he did end up getting arrested. I'm not sure how long he was away for. But he did eventually get out shortly after. And it was ultimately that I remember my mom had actually seen him in the grocery store after all of this happened, and she let's just say she stopped herself from doing some things.
I can only imagine being a mom. And I can only imagine being a mom. Zoe, tell us, you're the shooter in the person who shot up your school. Who was that person? How old? Why? Was there ever a why established?
Yeah, I think that's something that we're still trying to figure out. So our shooter was, I want to say he was either a 14 or 15-year-old male at the time. I was a senior, so he was a sophomore. And the running theory is that, from what I've heard, at least from students at the school, because of course, we talked about it after, is that he was bullied and that he was having a lot of mental issues. And I know that there's a lot going on within the Oxford school system, that he had meetings with teachers that day and that it could have been prevented, because when he had meetings with teachers and administrators that day, he had the gun in his bag already, but he had gotten sent to the office because he had a lot of scrapbookings and newspaper cutouts and drawings of guns all in his notebook in school. And so a teacher saw that and saw that he had said something about wanting to be the greatest known school shooter in history.
No.
And so after a teacher seeing that, they sent him to the office. So that is the running theory, that he was bullied. And of course, we don't genuinely know what happened without talking to him, but he was very young at the time of the shooting.
Wow.
And Zoe, when we hear that the person that did the shooting in your school was 14 or 15 years old, and we know that Colt Gray, who is the person that did the shooting here in Apalachee High School in Georgia, was 14 years old. When you heard about Colt Gray and what was going on at Apalachee High School, what were your thoughts? Did it take you back?
It definitely did. It made me angry, for one, to see that. 14 is a baby, and I know that I'm only 20, so I love to tell people that I'm getting old, but I genuinely do know that I'm still young. But 14 is such a young age to be even thinking about something as detrimental as wanting to shoot up a school. So I know at 14 I was worried about, am I getting good grades? And, oh, my God, this boy is so cute. Will he like me? And so it was so disheartening to even see that a baby that young could have an idea like that. But it definitely brought me back to Oxford High School, because when our situation happened, one of the first thoughts was, why would someone do this? But he's so much younger than me, and he's committing an act like this.
Thank you.
Wow.
And to our audience, we just want to, again, thank you for, tuning in and listening to this show. The title of this show is Turning Tragedy into Activism. the 2024 election, gun violence in the Georgia, Apalachee,